Today we are excited because we have with us Liz S., in case y'all haven't met her before. This is Liz Scheidegg, and she is going to do our Facebook class today on Facebook 201. So hopefully all of you came to Facebook 101. Now you know 201.
So learning about 101.
Yes. So last time, we talked a little bit about the difference between a personal page. We talked a little bit about the difference between a personal page and a business page, right? And pros and cons of each of those. Who has a business page? Okay. Who hasn't really decided yet? Better question. Who is not doing a business page? Do you just know flat out you're not going to do a business page? Nobody's really made that. Okay. All right. So most of what I'm talking about today is going to be tailored to a business page. It's going to be talking about creating advertisements, different ways to do them, different types of advertisements, and how to use them. So the packet of stuff I gave you is, there are, I think, 5 or 6 different things here. The first sort of thing I want to talk about is if you have a personal page versus a business page, the difference between likes and friends. So if you have a personal page, you have friends, right? You friend request someone, they approve you, or they friend request you and you approve them. That means it's a two-way street. You can both see information on the other person's page, okay? They can see what you post, you can see what they post. Now, there are filters that you can put in place. You can have a group set up of family, so when I'm complaining about my family, I eliminate them from my post so they can't see my complaint, right? You can do that. But by and large, whatever you're set up on, it's a two-way street. On a business page, it's not the same thing. On a business page, once they like you, they can see anything you put on that page, assuming you have your settings like we talked about last time where you're wide open, right? But if you've ever had somebody, like a name shows up on your business page and you're like, I don't recognize that person, and you click on them to go and see if you can figure out who they are and check them out, you might not be able to see much of anything. Maybe just, this is pretty common nowadays, just like their profile picture, and maybe where their news feed would be, it'll only have their background picture, okay? So the reason that is because they have said, I don't want everybody under the sun to be able to see all of my stuff. That's their settings. You can't do anything about that. I don't blame them for having it like that. That's how I have mine. But you can at least see their name, and it's a jumping off spot. Now, what good does that do you? Well, once I show you how to create a lead generation advertisement, it might do you a lot of good because then you can at least see what they look like. So if you're meeting them somewhere for coffee to talk about houses, you know who you're looking for. It's baby steps. So the first handout I have for you is talking about real estate marketing. And the biggest reason that I printed this article for you guys, and you can read through it later if you have a burning desire, but the biggest thing I wanted you to see is on the first page, stop making your Facebook content about you. This is something that's really hard for everybody. I know when I go and I post on Facebook, I'm complaining about something, I'm sharing something great that happened to me, I'm talking about something I'm doing, it's me, right? It's my Facebook, it's my page, I'm talking about me. But where you're a business, you don't want it to be me. You want to provide a value to them. So when you are posting on Facebook, think of it as what can I give you, not what can I tell you. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay. It's a hard switch to flip in your brain because Facebook has always been me. It's a very egocentric venue. But if you're going to use it for business, if you're going to use it as a marketing tool for business, switch that to what can I do for you, not what can I give you about me. Now, that doesn't mean don't tell them about you. Tell them about you for sure. Because when they're agent shopping or they're checking you out because they liked a blog post and followed you down the rabbit hole and found your Facebook page, they want to know something about you. So make sure that your profile page has information about you. Make sure that you do have posts with your cat and talking about, stuff that you're doing this weekend, especially if you're going to be somewhere where you want people to know that you're there. If you're going to do the bridge run, that's a big thing, right? Let people know you're going to be doing the bridge run, and you're going to be wearing a neon pink shirt that says Agent Owned on the back, and come and say hi. That kind of thing is great advertising. Those are the me posts. Make sure this is going to sound dumb to say, but I'm going to say it, make sure you don't ever complain about a client on Facebook. Just throwing it out there. You'd be amazed at what things I have come across as I've done research for this class. So that's the first one. And then there are a series of 4 handouts. And I think that these are really, really great. This particular company has done a really good job with breaking out creating a business page and then creating advertisements on that page into step-by-step instructions. And I started creating step-by-step instructions for you guys and came across this and said, well, they already did that for me. That's perfect. So this is really a take it and use it as a resource later if you're going to create ads. Basic things. The first one is about creating a business page, and we talked about that last time pretty well. Does anybody have any basic questions on their business page that you want to kind of get out of the way?
I have a question.
I'm shocked, Susan.
I know, but I'm so confused. Okay, so I have my own little Susan Day over here, right?
Okay.
But why is is a business page a whole different entity, or is it on my Facebook page where it says on a page I manage?
Your business page is a page you manage. So you log into one Facebook account,
right?
And your business page is under that. Now, when you post something on your business page, who your friends are has nothing to do with who sees your business page.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
So I've done it right.
Sure, without looking at your settings or anything.
There's no other way to do it, correct?
No, you can't. You cannot create a business account. You can create a business page under your account.
Okay.
Okay?
Perfect answer. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Question. If
Yeah.
you have so a business Facebook page and you've got realtor on it, like Sis Marshall Realtor.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta get that off of it, so I have to start from scratch all over again.
No, you can rename your page.
And right now, an individual does not have to take that off, but I do think that down the road it'll come to that. But right now, individuals can use those terms, teams cannot. Currently.
Yeah.
So legal.
You're still legal, though. For now.
So is the personal page lead into the business page and vice versa? Or
No.
separate?
They are separate unless you choose to make them go like this every once in a while. And the way you would do that is you would share to your page. So if you do a post on your personal page, and you decide that you don't just want your friends and family to be able to see it, but you want to share it with your clients and people that are on your business page. Let's go back to my home page, shall we? I have too many ads. We go down here to share, and you can share it now, which means you don't have the opportunity to put any words. It just regurgitates that post, okay? You can share, which means it's going to pull up the box where it's giving you what you're sharing, but it gives you an opportunity to write something at the top, okay? So if I was sharing this, I would write, hey, check out what my really cool jeweler friend designed. I have a friend who's a goldsmith in New Hampshire. This is his post, okay? You can send it as a Facebook message to somebody. Okay, so if you don't want to put it out public, but you want this specific person to see it, you can send it as a Facebook message to them, okay? You could also do the share with the little @ sign and put their name, and that will give them a notification up in the corner. It'll say, hey, Susan Day tagged you in a post, and when they click on it, they'll see what that post is, but so will everybody else. So message is just them. Share on a friend's timeline is you put it on their wall. So that's a little more private, but anybody who can see their wall can see that you shared that to their wall. So that's great for like a happy birthday or, something funny that you came across that totally reminded you of that person. Share to their wall, okay? Share to a page. This is what you're talking about. So if I share to a page, I can pick what page I want to share it to. I can write something about it if I want to, and then you just click post, and then that's on your business account.
It does, but we both have the same thing going on
What?
since the last class. we're getting, sorry, my privacy setting on this post means that you can't share it on Charleston by Day with Susan and Greg's timeline.
Because you did not have the first post in as public post, but only as a friend post. We have to change the settings.
We're going back to being public, girls.
Yes, you have to change the original post, make it public.
Yeah. Now, if you're sharing someone else's post, if you posted it, you need to make sure that your settings are available for you to repost, to share, okay? If you're sharing someone else's post and it says that, you can't share it. They have their settings so that you are not allowed to share their stuff, probably unless you're a friend of a friend, or maybe not to a business page. It all depends on what their settings are. There's nothing you can do about that. Most businesses have them wide open. It's silly not to, because your whole point of being on Facebook is to make contacts, right? I mean, you don't want to be on Facebook for fun. Yeah.
You should probably have something that they can't just post anything to your timeline.
Well, no.
No?
And I'm going to tell you why.
One other question I have.
Yeah.
And then you can see which one you want to do first.
Okay.
You said you could put that at tag, and
So
in Facebook that works?
if you share this, I do.
The questions, Liz, public recording.
Oh, sorry. I forgot we were recording. Okay, so she's asking what I talked about the @ You can do @ somebody's name, and that will tag them. She's asking about that. So when you pull up the post, I just clicked share. I can do @
Are you saying at or
the @ sign.
Ampersand.
No, it's not an ampersand.
They used to be.
Ampersand's the and sign.
Not ampersand, what did they used to call it? What did they think?
I've only ever known it as @ A with a circle around it. Shift 2. When you do @ and you type someone's name, it pops up. Now if I hit post, this is going to give Whitley a tag that says, hey, Liz tagged you in the post. Click here to see the post. So it's posting it to my timeline, but with her name on it.
But I think on the business page, names don't pop up.
This is only personal page.
Oh.
Because that's the difference. Business page, it's not a two-way street. You're not friends. They like you, but you can't do anything about it.
Oh, so you're not in the business page.
No, I'm going to go there. This was to share to a business page. Okay? Now, let's go over to the business page. Wait, what was your first question?
About not letting people post to your...
Okay. So the reason I say no, you should not prevent them from posting to your business page. If you are using Facebook correctly, you are on it every day, and you are looking to see what people are putting on your page, you don't want, now you can set it so that you have to approve it.
Right, that's what I meant.
I would recommend that.
That's what I meant.
But some people won't post things, good or bad or indifferent, if they know it's going for approval.
How do they know?
It tells them.
It tells them?
They get a notification that says pending approval.
On a page, or, I'm sorry, on the business page.
That's not my private, they don't.
No, on a business page.
You get a list of everybody that's wanting to post, and I just go through on a regular basis and just approve.
You can do that. There's nothing wrong with that. Ask my opinion. My opinion is let people post to your page. If they have something bad to say, you can delete it. That's fine. But you want to know what they think. And if it's a pending approval, they're not necessarily going to be as honest as if they think it's going out for the world to see. That's my opinion. Personal page, no, I don't let people, well, I do, but that's another story.
Yeah, you post on this page.
I don't let anyone post something on my page until I approve it.
Right.
So, and that's fine. You can do that. It's totally up to you. If you're using Facebook every day, if you're going to use Facebook as a marketing tool, it needs to be a daily thing. Okay, that's right out of the gate. You got to post once a day. And if you're in there once a day anyway, I would imagine you are checking to see what people are writing, right? Are they engaged? Did they like one of your posts? Did they have sad faces? You know, what are they doing? Are they commenting? Has your number of likes gone up? So right here, how many people like you? You're going to be going in and managing your ads if you're doing ads. So if you're on every day, it's not like there's going to be something out there for 6 months complaining about you that people are seeing. You're going to catch it. And I think it's good for you to see that if it is something like that. I mean, if it's good, who cares, right? So I guess the whole idea here is if it's negative, you want to catch it before it goes out on Facebook. But I would want to know.
But once people post on your site comments, I guess that's the review section. You cannot delete the reviews.
Not reviews.
Right.
I'm okay with that. I don't want them putting on, oh, I'm selling a fat burner for $4.99. You know, things like that.
Like, I would need that, but they.
Donna, are you saying ads?
Yeah, like just stupid things, like not to do with my page, maybe even. But I would want the approval. You know, I would want the.
Then
Trolls,
that would make,
called trolls.
well, trolls are when they're mean on purpose.
So that's what she's saying, doing a fat burner ad, or, you know, I make $99 an hour, you know, doing this on her page, she has to administrate.
Yeah.
Get rid of
Okay.
something.
Can't you just unfriend the next?
Can't you take that out?
Not on a business page?
Yeah, because you can't like your.
What is yes? You're
Yeah,
shaking
but
your
you
head.
can
yes.
on a regular page too.
Right, but we're on a business page now.
Yeah.
But can't you block them though, and it'll delete the post, but it won't delete the star?
So there's lots of ways. All right, let's look at this for a second. There's lots of ways that you can manipulate the system, right? Any system can be manipulated. So we have this post here. If I click here, I can do different things with it. I can edit the post. I can pin it to the top of the page. I can change the date on it. I can hide it from my timeline. So if this is something that I don't want people that are on my page to see, I can just hide from timeline and it sort of disappears. It's not deleted, but it's hidden. You can do that, certainly. How you manage your page is truly, truly, truly an individual thing. It really is, because no two of you are duplicates of each other. No two of you have the same beliefs and ideas and ways to share and communicate, so they're all going to be different. These are just options, okay? It's all about options, and everybody that you talk to that knows anything about Facebook has a different opinion. Every single person. It is not a, this is right, this is wrong. There is not that, and it's changing daily. So I can tell you something today, and they could change the rules, and next week I was just kidding. Total big fat lie.
So to your point, keep your business page open, because the amount of time it takes you to go onto the page and hide it or delete it off is the same amount of time it would take you to approve it. So just let it go out there and just work your page.
Yep, work your page. I could not put it better. Work your page.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk about advertisements. That seems to be the big thing. Before we do that, real quick, I just looked down at my notes. I want to tell you people can follow you in different ways. So when they like your page, they are automatically made to follow you, okay? They can go back and unfollow you, which means they won't get your feeds in their news feed, okay? They won't get what you post on your business page popping up in their news feed. But if they really like you, they could say, I always want to see yours first. They could have it just show organically, timeline-wise, or they can say, I don't want your information. I still want to like your page, but I don't want all your posts. The reason I bring this up is content is king. If your information is not something that they care about, or if you are doing too much of it, they're going to unfollow. And you don't want that, because then when it's something they do want, they're not going to see it. So keep in mind when you post, I'm saying once a day, roughly, make it different, make it interesting. If you just, honestly, that day you got nothing. Like, there's just nothing. Don't post. Don't post just for the sake of posting. Post something interesting. Don't make them all listeds or solds. Give them something else, because if I like your page and every day I have this listing pops up, this listing pops up, this sold pops up, like, that's great, but you're not giving me any value. Remember, it's not about you. It's about them. So make sure that what you're putting out there is of value to the people receiving it, not your value to put it out there. Does that make sense the way I said that?
Yep.
Okay. All right, so for campaigns, so you can do ads in a couple of ways. You can do just a one-off, you just do an ad, or you can do a campaign. And a campaign is sort of a strategic marketing roadmap, if you will. I'm going to show you how to create an ad that is geared at lead generation. Now, if you decide to do an ad, you need to decide what's your goal. Before you even touch Facebook, don't even log into Facebook, come up with what your goal is. What are you trying to have be the end result? Do you want more people to like your page? Do you want to get to 200 likes? Do you want to get to 2,000 likes? Do you want lead generation? So are you looking to capture people's information? Do you want to provide a service to people to get them drawn to you that way? Maybe you are going to be at back to school night at your kid's school and you're going to be answering real estate 101 questions for people and you're telling them to please stop by and here's your free ticket. I'm just coming up with stuff off the cuff, but you need to come up with what your goal is, because the only way you can tell if your money is being used wisely, this is advertising money. You're going to pay for an ad. You want to know what's your return on your investment, right? The only way you can know that is if you have an attainable goal that you can say, yes, I achieved my goal, or no, I didn't achieve my goal, and then adjust the money aspect, what you're putting into it, to get closer to your goal. Does that make sense?
Can you just tell us, compare likes with following? What is, it's better to have likes or following?
They're not,
Compete, they don't compete with
no. So typically when people like you, they're also following you. And by following, all following means is they're getting your information in their news feed. They've opted in.
So if they like,
Yes. Now, if they like you and they're getting junk every day that they don't want, they can unfollow you but still like your page. Okay, so let's pretend like we're going to create an ad. Don't worry, Mama Liz, I won't spend any money. We are going to go up and we're going to create an advert. It pulls all of your information in, and we're going to start again. And it brings you to your ads manager. Now this is your main page to manage your ads, okay? And everything here on this side is what you're creating for this ad. So this is sort of like your worksheet for this ad that you're creating. What is your objective? Remember I said you have to have what's your goal, what's your objective. We're going to say lead generation. We're looking to capture names and numbers. So we're going to come down here and we're going to click lead generation. All of these are possibles, okay? So traffic, I want more traffic to my site. If you have a business website that you want to create more traffic to, you can drive them there. Engagement, I just want more people to like my page. You probably don't have a catalog that you have people shopping out of, so that one's really not pertinent to you guys. So we're going to go with lead generation. Once we select that, it goes blue. We're going to continue. And see, we have a check mark now. So if right now you have to run out and you just leave this, you know where you left off, okay? As we create each one of these things, as we complete them, you'll get a check mark. It's very satisfying if you're someone that likes to cross things off a list. Mm-hmm. What page are you doing this for? So if you have multiple pages, which you really should not, because I don't know anybody that has time to manage multiple pages, but if you do, you can pick which page it goes to. You will have to accept their lead adverts terms, which means you're going to click view terms and a little box pulls up and it just says, it looks like you're probably doing something with housing. You can't discriminate. It's against Facebook's terms and policies, so that if you do discriminate, Facebook doesn't get sued. That's all it is. Your audience. This is really important. Who do you want this to target? Okay, so when you spend advertising money other places, do you just sort of go, well, I hope it sticks? Or do you pick who you're targeting? You know, when you watch a McDonald's ad, they're targeting someone very specific. Different ads target different people, but each one of those is designed very, very specifically for that one person that they know there are millions of that are going to do that ad. So you're doing the same thing. Now, how do you decide? Who's your niche? Who do you like to work with? Who do you relate to? Not these are the only people you're going to work with. Not this is the only group of people you're ever going to talk to as a real estate agent. But what's your niche? What's your comfort zone? So if you're working with first-time home buyers, if that's who you're going to target with this, then you're probably not going to go up to 65 in your age bracket. Just a thought. You're probably going to dial it back down a little bit. If you're working with retirees, then you're probably not going to start at 18. So narrow your surface, narrow your search parameters. The smaller you get, yes, you are narrowing the pool of people it goes to, but the more likely they are to be someone who you're going to convert. You're not necessarily looking for blanket number of people that this can get in front of. It's not a newspaper, right? It's you want 10 really good leads that are going to come back to you rather than 100 people going, what does that get you, right? If you're spending money on this.
If you want to target people who are retiring and downsizing, then you target retirees and do an ad specifically targeting them for that purpose.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
And it would be very specific to them. Now, you can run multiple ads. You can do an ad for retirees. You can do an ad for first-time home buyers. Are they going to have the same information in them?
Nope.
Very, very, very different information. So for this one, let's say we're targeting first-time home buyers, okay? So I'm going to say 21 to 29. Now, keep in mind, I'm not a real estate agent. I do not have the actual specific what counts as a first-time home buyer other than they've never owned a house before. But I'm going to go with that. I don't really want to deal with 18-year-olds because not very many of them are really buying a house.
Okay.
But 21 getting out of college maybe? No?
25 to 30.
Yeah, 25, 32.
Okay. 25, Greg Day has spoken. 25 to 32, folks. That's what we're going to do. 25 to 31. Sorry, there you go. Now, do you want just women, just men? Probably want both, right? Language. Now, what does this mean? What's language? If I look at this little I here, if I hover over it, it tells you what each of these are. So when you're at home tonight and you're creating this and you go, I don't remember what she said, just hover and it'll tell you the information. Leave this blank unless the audience you are targeting uses a language that is not common to the language you've chosen. So, do you speak English? Do you also speak Spanish? Do you also speak Portuguese and French and German? You could put those languages in there. If you're targeting people who are relocating here from another country, you could put that in there, okay? Put in the language of that country. If you are putting in a language of another country, put English and that. Don't just put the other language, okay? Everybody's on board so far? Okay. And this, again, it's blue, telling you where we are in the process. So, what is next? Detailed targeting. Include people who match at least one of the following. You can go by demographic, you can go by interest. So, people who love birds. It's a thing. You could pick that. Behaviors. People who dance the cha-cha on Sunday afternoon. You can do that. It all depends on how narrow you want to be, okay? There are lots and lots of categories in each of these that you can go through. If you want to pick somebody who's having an anniversary and their anniversary is coming up, you can target ads to, once you have the stuff set up and you're familiar with it, you can target ads to be happy anniversary and come buy a house. Like it's your 50th wedding anniversary. Aren't you ready to retire and downsize? You can set them up to be that specific. For right now, we're just going to go with that. The thing is, though, keep in mind when you're doing the detailed targeting, it's only the information that Facebook knows about them. So it's only the information that they have told Facebook. So if they don't have their wedding anniversary entered in Facebook, it's not going to pull them. So you do run the risk, again, and this is a trial and error for how you want to spend your money, you run the risk of missing people who actually fall into your target zone by putting in details here, okay?
I do it. One of the things I do is by mileage.
Mm-hmm.
I get people from Mexico. I don't understand how this is happening.
Yeah, my cousin.
Oh,
Because they're not legal. That's their real home address. They're here illegally.
okay.
All right.
No, I mean really.
Yeah. It's just a flaw.
Oh, nice.
If you can show me one, I can take a look at who you're talking about and see why it is that. It could be that it's they are from Mexico, but they are here and using Facebook here. And so when you pick an area, it's the area that they're using Facebook in, not necessarily where they live. So if your area is the United States,
But you're logged in California? Like I did this area?
right, so if I live in California, but I'm here and I come across your ad, it's going to tell you that I'm from California, but I'm here on vacation. So they might be in Kansas on vacation from Mexico, so they're from Mexico,
Oh, gotcha.
but they're within your area for your ad. Does that make sense? Okay.
Why is your blue placement blue and mine's not placement?
Repeat the question.
Why is this placement blue? Because that's the last place I clicked. So
Yeah, but I thought I did, okay.
I was working in the placement section, okay?
A question.
Yep.
So since we're like the #1 tourist destination in the world, we could get a lot of people from off, couldn't we?
I would imagine there's a fair amount of people that use Facebook when they're here that are not from here. Yep.
But they might want to relocate here.
Right, they might be a perfect target for you guys to do a campaign for vacationing in Charleston because they come, they fall in love, and now they want to buy, or rent and then buy, or whatever,
So your ad would be something like visiting Charleston and thinking of moving here.
Right.
Contact me for all your real estate needs or something like
Yeah,
that.
visiting Charleston, we need new neighbors, Placements, let's talk about placements. Automatic placement. Unless you are proficient with Facebook ads, automatic placement is fine. When you start getting into editing where your placement goes, it, again, is much more, you're narrowing to the point where you're excluding, unless you are very, very, very trained. Now, companies that do Facebook ads for people, marketing companies, they use this because they have it as a well-oiled machine, a fine-tuned machine for what ads get what response from what people. They know what copy makes them click, what copy makes 25-year-olds click versus what copy and what pictures make 55-year-olds click. You guys, I love you all, but you don't have that expertise yet. So the standard automatic placement is it's going to come up in their news feed, just let it happen. You're not forcing it. Is that everybody's on board with that? You can do it if you want to. I'm just not recommending it. Budget and schedule. Here's the big question. How much money do I want to spend, right? I want to spend $5 a day because I'm cheap. Just kidding. Okay. Schedule. Do you want to run it continuously starting today, or do you want to schedule a start and end date? I would recommend while you are sort of trying this out and feeling this out, do a start and end date. That way you have very finite time. I'm going to spend $5 a day for 10 days, and I'm going to see what kind of return on investment I get. And then I'm going to do a new ad, and I'm going to spend $5 a day for 10 days, and I'm going to see what kind of return on investment I get for that. You're going to have to try and see what works for you. Everybody's going to have a different picture. Everybody's going to have different copy. That's your voice, right? You're going to write differently than Ute's going to write differently than Jenny. Everybody's going to write differently. I can't speak today.
So they see the ad and they like it and they respond to it. Where does the response go?
We'll get there.
Back to Facebook.
We'll get there. We're still creating the ad. We're not there yet. Okay. So let's continue. What kind of ad do you want? Decisions. Yes.
Do you know, is this on the Facebook ads tied to the Google searches too? You know, when we
No is the
Google-
short answer.
Okay, so when we Google and then if I'm looking at Wayfair on Google, then it shows up on my Facebook.
That's because Facebook knows everything you do. It doesn't go in reverse. So when you create a Facebook ad, it doesn't go to Google. But when you Google size 10 red sneakers, and then sneakers show up in your Facebook, it's a little creepy. That's because Facebook knows everything you do. Because one of their terms and conditions is they get to look at your search history.
Okay, so we can't tie into that.
It doesn't go backwards. Yeah.
Right.
Sorry. It'd be nice, but no. Okay, so what kind of an ad do you want to do? Carousel. What's a carousel? Let's look. I'm glad you asked. Matt O'Neill Real Estate showed up in my Google feed about an hour ago. This is his ad. I could only do a screenshot of it, and I, of course, cannot get it to pull up in my news feed again, because that's how Google ads work, or how Facebook ads work. But he has, thinking about buying a home in the Mount Pleasant area, search by popular subdivisions and find your dream home. Search Park West homes, search Bell Hall homes. If I clicked on this, there were 5 pictures, each of them a picture of a house, and search location homes for sale. Bell Hall, there was Hanlon Plantation, and there were a couple others. There were 5 altogether, and then the last picture was, for all your real estate needs, contact Jeff Cook or Matt O'Neill Real Estate, and it was a picture of him, same person in my head. And if you clicked on it, it took you to his website. This is the first type of ad that we're talking about, okay? That's a carousel. You give them 4 or 5 options, and each one of those, when they click on it, it takes them to that, okay? And I would be willing to bet if I looked at his settings for this ad, because he is not asking me to give him any information. He's not capturing my information. He's not looking at leads. He's looking at driving traffic to his website. That's his goal. Because every single one of these went to a page on his website about that subdivision. Okay, so the first thing we picked was what's our goal, what's our objective. His was lead generation. I would bet my right arm. Okay? You can have a single image. You can have a video. If you took a really, really good video and it's really something that you want to promote, you can have a video. You can have a slideshow of 10 images that loop through. So you pick your type. Then you pick your text. What do you want it to say? You type here. Doop, 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 doop. Why is preview unavailable? No, I want my preview. I'm going to refresh this page. It's really nice because the preview on the side shows you exactly what you're doing as you do it, except when it doesn't. And here's why we love Facebook so much, because 20 minutes ago it worked just fine. So normally, what you're typing here is what your ad is going to be, okay? So who was that, Matt O'Neill? That's where he typed, looking for a home in a subdivision. That's that box, okay? Anything you type there is going to be right here as the post. With me so far?
Yep.
Okay. You can pick how many pictures you want. So he had, this is 1, this is 2, he had 5, and then his call to action, his click here to go to my real estate website. And that was his 6 things. So he added these through to 6. Yeah.
Okay, am I correct that if we're taking pictures of houses, as long as we take the picture from the street, it's legal for us to use? We can't do anything like in the yard or whatever.
I'm not comfortable saying that. If you were taking a picture of my house, even though you were in the street, I would be unhappy with you.
Oh.
Sorry.
Well, if it's one of your listings, though, you can.
If it's one, so follow MLS rules is pretty basic for pictures. No kids, no license plates, no marking things for people. Not everybody wants to be, I'm the perfect example. I'm a very private person. I may seem like I'm not, but I am. And if I saw somebody standing out in front of my house taking a picture of my house, I would probably shoot them first and ask questions second. So I don't want my house on Facebook.
If it's not listed.
If it's not listed. Now, if it's listed, that's a whole other story. You want your house out there.
You've already got written permission in your listing agreement.
Right. So I would not walk around a neighborhood and take pictures of people's houses. Just throwing that out there.
But you could also put your sign on the listings, your listings, on that, as long as it's not MLS.
Right. So if it's a house that you have listed, yes, you can have your sign in front of the house. That's fine. Okay, so here's where he added up to 6, not up to, he added 6. He had 6. He had 5 neighborhoods and then a call to action. Does everybody know what a call to action is? You all know that, right? It's where you tell somebody what they have to do next because people are sheep and they will. It's true. They do. If you say, call me now, not everybody, but someone will call you. It is how we are wired as people. Here's where you pick your images that you want to have for each of these. Call to action. Stop. Sign up, apply now, download, get a quote, learn more, subscribe. All depends on what you're doing, right? Do you have a great 10 tips for a first-time home buyer that you want to give them if they give you their contact information? Great. Download. And they can download it, okay? This is where you set up that stuff.
Can you do all of them or just one? Can you just do all of them?
Just one.
Okay.
No, because you should have a very specific thing that you want to have done, okay? This one is the single image if I don't want a whole carousel of stuff. Facebook owns Instagram. Everybody knows that. Facebook owns Instagram. If you don't, you do now. So if you are breaking Instagram's rules, Facebook won't allow the picture on there, and that's what this is telling me is there's a picture that we have, our cover image, that says you can't use me in a Facebook ad because your Facebook ad is potentially going to go to Instagram also. And because Instagram is images, it's not text, it's images, it's all about pictures, they have more specific picture guidelines. It's not a big deal. It's because the picture it's pulling is the big picture from the top of the page. It's like 4 pictures mashed together. It's just saying I don't like that. They can't really tell what it is. The thing that you really want, so we talked about the text. This is where you enter what they're going to see. Lead form. We're going to create a new form. This is where you decide what you want to make them tell you, okay? So your ad says something like, click here to get customized MLS, customized new home search in your mailbox every day, okay? That's something you guys do pretty normally, right, is you set people up on the feeds from MLS. Something that tells people that you're going to give them, you have to give them something. They're not going to give you their name without them getting anything. People aren't like that. Everybody likes to get, not give. So you have to give them something. Now, your headline, what are they going to get? Free new home search, okay? Daily new home search, whatever it is you're going to give them. Use the image from your advertisement, you added it above, or you can use a different image. This is what it's looking like so far. So we have our ad, our image, headline text, so let's go ahead and put this. Free new homes in your mailbox every day. If I typed all that right, it's a miracle. Okay, so here's where it is. Now, what do I want to say about it? Tell people what you're going to give them. Explain to them. I will set you up with a custom search that you can customize. I don't have a different word for custom. And every day it will email you if there's any new things that meet your search criteria. Okay? Tell them that. Do you want the button to say sign up now? Click here. See it change down here? Click here. You can make this sign say whatever you want. So if you're a little more going for young, humorous, like punch my button or something funny, versus if you're going for retirees who are maybe not as snarky, you want something a little more simple. It's tailoring it to who you're targeting. Remember, the whole time you're writing this stuff, who you're talking to. Now, what information do you want from them? Keep in mind, people do not like to give without getting. So they are already saying, I don't know if I'm going to like what you're giving me, so I might be willing to give you a little bit of information, but I'm probably not going to give you a ton of information. So keep it simple. Email, full name. Maybe you also want their zip code. Where are they? Those are going to be the 3 things that they enter See, this is our thing here. The 3 things that they enter to get your information. Or you can add a custom question. If you want to know what color their eyes are, you can ask them. You're probably not going to get a lead to convert out of that, but you could. Privacy policy. The standard privacy policy that Facebook puts on everything is by clicking submit, you agree to send your info to the agent-owned realty company who agrees to use it according to their privacy policy and the above terms. Facebook will also use it subject to our data policy, including to autofill forms for ads. So this is letting them know that Facebook is going to also capture their lead information and use it for their purposes. Nothing is free, folks, even when you pay for it. And then your thank you screen. So once they've clicked and they've given you their information, what do you want to have the thank you screen say? Do you want a different picture? Do you want a link to your website? You want to make sure you thank them. This is really important. They just gave you the keys to the castle. Does that make sense?
You're just brilliant. This has been awesome.
This has been great, because I just boost the posts, and it doesn't give you all that.
You can tailor it to...
Boost post doesn't give you...
No, Boost just sort of throws you back up into the universe. But this...
It's a little criteria, but not like this.
Yeah. This really is a tool that you can use. It can make your marketing money really, really well spent if you take the time to learn what works for you. So, like I said, choose, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do it for 10 days at $5 a day. And then I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this for 10 days, and do 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 of them and figure out which ones work. Each time somebody registers with this, here's what's going to happen. Yes, close my lead form, please. Why are you not coming up? Where'd you go? I can't really see. Sorry, guys. If anybody's actually listening to this and not watching this, it's because I can't see anything. Oh, I don't want to place my order. I don't want to spend Mama's money. She won't like that. Okay, so once you either push, yes, I want to do this, or no, I don't want to do this, it takes you to this page. This is where you can see your different campaigns. So each of your ads will be listed here, okay? And it'll tell you how much you've spent. It'll tell you the delivery, how many people has it gone to, what your results are. So you can look at an overview, the number of times your advert achieved an outcome. So number of times for this, because we did lead, right? How many times did people click on it to give us their information? The reach, the cost, how much you've spent, when it ends. So if, like I said, while you're trying to figure out what works for you, set a finite amount of time. Don't have it go on forever. Because you don't want to be spending even $1 a day on something if it's not doing anything. Yeah.
Did I see in the previous screen that when you were creating the ad, was there a spot that was saying it'll reach approximately this many people?
Right.
When you add here?
Yes.
You put this restriction in, so it'll let you know?
Yeah, you can determine whether you want the ad to be in the news feed or on the right hand. You know how the right hand side of your Facebook is all ads, or if you want it over there. For what you guys are doing, you're looking to reach new people. You want news feed. You want it going out into the world.
Where do you select that?
It was on the previous page when you're picking all of your demographic information. It's one of those, yeah. And that's shown in these 1, 2, 3, 4 part things. It shows you step by step each of them.
Okay. So you can make the changes and then see how many people it will reach. Like do this, it's going to reach this many people.
Now keep it, yes, it will. You can see that. Yep. The more you spend, the more you reach. Okay? But keep in mind, reaching people, while great for our egos, is not what our goal was.
Right.
Our goal was lead generation. We are not looking to build likes. If we're looking to build likes, if we're looking for traffic as our goal, then yes, reaching people is absolutely what our prime objective is. For this, we were looking for people who are going to give us their information. So we were very specific. So I might not be reaching 10,000 people. I may be reaching 500 people. But there's no point in reaching 10,000 people if they're all the wrong person.
Right.
That's what you have to keep your goal, keep what your objective is as the forefront in your mind for each ad. And each ad should be different, right? Different ways to go about the same thing. There was something on here I wanted to show you, and I don't remember what it was now. Let me look at my ad. One of the other things, so let's finish up Facebook ads while we're doing this. Is everybody cool with kind of the overview that we got? You've got step-by-step stuff. If you get stuck, yell. I'm happy to sit down with you and help you create your first ad. I don't mind doing that. I can only go so far in a class because it turns into a point where I'm actually spending money and I'm not really creating anything of value to spend money on, so that goes against the grain for me. The other thing that I did want to just touch on briefly is Facebook events. You can create an event in Facebook, and this is probably not something that you guys are going to do very often, but if you wanted to create something where, let's say, every Saturday at 1, you were live on Facebook to answer real estate questions. People could type their question to you. They knew that for an hour, you were live on Facebook. They knew they could count on you. So if they were a renter in Goose Creek, they could ask a real estate professional in their area a question and get a live answer. That might be something that you would think about doing. This is just something that, as I'm sitting in my office, things pop into my brain. You could create a Facebook event for your first one. So it would be a way of announcing that you were going to do this to everyone. And it would be something that you could invite people on your personal page to. Because once you create an event, you can share that as an invitation to people. So you could invite your personal page. You could invite people to share that to other people. And it might be a good way to build your following, because all of the ads are great, but at the end of the day, you want two things to happen with your Facebook page. You want people to like you and follow you to get your information, and you want people to give you their information. Those are basically the two things you want, right? So you have to have people on your page to follow you so that your posts automatically, not your paid advertisements, your posts go on their newsfeed, and then their friends see it and they share it, and then their friends see it and they share it. That's how the chain works.
Okay.
Make sense? Okay?
Okay. You can't live video from your page, right?
Sure you can. I do it every week for the lottery. Yep. I'll show you how. It's easy. You can't, well, I don't know if you can do it from your computer. I know you can do it from your phone.
Oh, dang. I bet you that's what.
Everybody good? If you get stuck, yell. Facebook ads are done.